Hello. In this lesson, we will be looking at the basic economic problem.
This problem is at the heart of economics. What is economics? The word economy comes from a Greek word meaning household management. In English, we use it in a broader sense to mean the use and management of resources, not just in the household, but anywhere, in business, in government, in society, in the country, internationally. Economics is the study of how we manage resources. And by resources, we mean anything that people can use to produce things, anything that's useful. This can include land, sea, people, tools, buildings, money. Economics is not just about money, but money is one of the resources that we have to manage. And with any resource, with all of these resources, we face one basic problem, and that problem is scarcity. Scarcity, or being scarce, means that something is in short supply. There's not enough to meet demand. There's not enough for everyone. This is the basic problem that we try to address in economics. Scarcity is always a problem because people's needs and wants are unlimited. There is no limit to what people can dream of having. If you have good food one day, then the next day you'll want more good food. If you have enough good food to eat well every day, then you'll be thinking about other things now, maybe new clothes, maybe a new phone, maybe a new laptop. If you have all these things, then you'll start dreaming about living in a nice house, driving a nice truck. If you have all of these things, maybe you think about something else. Maybe you want a boat now. If you have a boat, you become a millionaire, you think bigger and bigger. Maybe you want a ship now, or a private plane, or a private island. The two richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they're now investing a lot of money in rockets, as if they've finished up everything they want on this planet and now they're going looking for things on other planets. There is no limit to what people can dream of. But the world's resources are not unlimited. There is not enough resources in the world. There is not enough land. There is not enough materials for every single person to have a private island or a private plane or their own ship. Resources will always be scarce. There will never be enough for everyone. There will always be people who are not satisfied with what they have. That's depressing. But in economics, although we can't have enough resources for everyone, we can try our best to use resources wisely, to make sure that even if not everyone has everything that they dream of, at least we make good use of what we have and provide people with as much as we can. That's the point of this subject. Scarcity forces us to make choices. Because our resources are not enough for everyone to have everything, when we choose one thing, we must give up the opportunity to have other things. For example, if you have a small area of ground and you want to keep animals, you need to make a choice. What animal are you going to keep? If you keep chickens, then you no longer have the opportunity to keep a pig because the area that you have for keeping animals is not enough to keep both. Every choice has an opportunity cost. The opportunity is the chance to receive or do something. So in this example, we have the chance, the opportunity to keep chickens. The cost is what we must give up in order to do something. Normally we think about cost in terms of money. How much money must we give up or lose to receive something? But cost can be anything. You can say It cost him his job, it cost him his reputation, it cost him his marriage, it cost him his life. The cost of something is what we must give up in order to receive it. And in order to have these chickens, what we must give up is the chance to have a pig. The opportunity cost of something is the next best alternative that is foregone. It's your second choice. It's the thing that you have given up the chance to have because you chose something else. For example, if our resources here, land, food, fencing, are scarce and we want to use them to keep chickens, we must give up the opportunity to keep a pig. So we say the opportunity cost of the chickens is the pig. Another example, suppose I'm hungry, I have up to 150 Vanuatu to spend at the store. So my money is scarce, I only have 150 Vanuatu, I need to make a choice about what I am going to spend that money on. Here are the choices that I find in the store. There's tinned pork, there's tinned tuna, and there's biscuits, all for no more than 150 Vanuatu each. My preferred choice, the thing I like most, is the tinned pork. My second choice, the thing I like second, is the biscuits. And my third choice, the one I don't like very much, is the tinned tuna. So obviously, I'm going to choose the tinned pork. That's the one I like most. But what is the opportunity cost of choosing this tinned pork? To answer this question, we need to ask, what opportunity would I have? What could I have if I did not choose the tinned pork? What have I given up in order to eat that tinned pork? Some people would say the opportunity cost is the biscuits and the tinned tuna, but that's not quite right, because even if I didn't have the tinned pork, I still couldn't have both of these other things. My 150 Vanuatu is not enough to buy biscuits and tinned tuna. The opportunity cost is the next best alternative. It's not all the other choices, it's my second choice. If I went to the store and found the tinned pork was finished, what would I choose instead? I would choose the biscuits. So the opportunity cost of the tinned pork is the biscuits. Everything that we do in life, no matter whether we spend money on it or not, has a cost. For example, we can ask, if you're in school this year, what is the cost of being in school? Another way of asking this question is, what do you lose because you made the choice to go to school? Now, if you ask the cost of schooling, most people talk about school fees. And yes, that is part of the cost. But you also need to think about, what would you be doing right now if you were not in school? Think about it. If you were not in school this year, what would you be doing instead? Maybe you would plant a garden. Maybe you would get married. Maybe you would relax. Whatever you would be doing if you were not in school, you have given that up this year at least, in order to have the chance to come and spend this year at school. So your next best alternative, whatever you would be doing if you were not in school right now, is part of the cost of your year at school. I hope that you have chosen wisely. So the way we think about costs in economics is different from the way we think about costs in accounting. Most economics students also take accounting. Accounting is about money. Accounting costs are things that a business spends money on. In accounting, we focus on money. Economics is about resources, and money is one of those resources, but we must also think about other resources land, labor, tools. Economic costs take into account the opportunity cost of using resources. Suppose, for example, you have a small amount of time and land available and you decide to plant crops, you decide to make a garden. If you planted kava, you could earn 50,000 Vaatu, which is good money. So what do? You plant cabbages instead. You spend 100 Vaatu on seeds from the store and you plant cabbages and you get a nice crop of tasty cabbages. What is the cost of the cabbage? How much did those cabbages cost you? In accounting, it's simple. You spent 100 Vaatu on the seeds, you had no other expenses, you were gardening on your own land using tools that you already had, you weren't paying anyone else to do the work. The only thing that you have lost money on is the seeds. So the accounting cost is simply 100 Vaatu. For 100 Vaatu, you have got a big pile, a big heap of delicious cabbages. Yay, cheap vegetables. But what is the economic cost? The economic cost, we count the 100 Vaatu. That is one thing we've lost, but we also need to think about the opportunity cost, the land and the effort that you put in to growing those cabbages could have been used for something else. And in this example, the next best alternative was planting kava, and the value of that kava was 50,000 Vaatu. So the economic cost of the cabbages is the cost of the seeds plus the value of the land and the effort that you put in, which is 50,000 Vaatu, giving a total economic cost of 50,100 Vaatu for these cabbages, which suddenly makes these cabbages look quite expensive. If you did not have those cabbages, you could instead have 50,100 Vaatu. This doesn't mean that you should never plant cabbages. There are other good reasons for planting cabbages. Maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you feel it's important to be self-reliant in food. Maybe you're thinking about the timing of your crop. Kava takes 4 or 5 years to grow. Cabbages can be harvested quickly. There are many things to think about. This is a simple example. But the point is, everything in economics has a cost. Sometimes you hear people saying, "Kakai logarani good from say free no more." It's good to grow your own food because it's free. And in the sense of cash, money, yes, that's true, or it's almost true. But in economic terms, the food that you get from the garden is not free at all. There is an opportunity cost because the land and the time and the effort that you have put in to growing that food has value, and sometimes quite a big value. That's all. Thank you for watching.